Canadian rocker Bryan Adams is on tour right now. His first stop in Canada was an electrifying concert in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. And the concert was a little different. Devashish Paul is the CEO and founder of BluWave-ai in Ottawa. BluWave and Summerside teamed up to deliver what they say is a first in Canadian history. Devashish, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell me, what was so special about this concert?
What is special about this concert is based on our research. It was the first ever 100% solar powered concert, time shifted to night, that has been run in North America, where everything, all of the needs of the concert were covered with solar energy.
Oh, wow. And you've done extensive research to show you're the first.
We did as much research as we could, and there's no indication anywhere in the public domain that there's been an instance where an evening rock concert was covered by solar energy that was generated during the day and then dispensed at night.
Well, congratulations on it. But your company works with artificial intelligence. What does AI have to do with solar power?
At the Summerside Credit Union Place, that's basically where the concert was being held. We've been operating that campus with solar and battery and the energy load of the community center for over a year now. And on any given day, we basically take energy from solar and we look at the energy utilization of the facility. When I say we look at it, I mean our software, our AI software looks at all of that and decides how to use the energy from the solar, whether to store it in the battery, whether to use the energy from the grid, and how to manage all of that in an automated fashion, just based on looking at the data continuously.
Honestly, that sounds fascinating. I wondered if you can take me back. When did BluWave and Summerside decide to do the concert?
Actually, in a staff meeting with my junior staff, I was talking with some of the engineers, and they're like, yeah, we got notification from Summerside that the Bryan Adams concert is happening in a couple of days. So just to keep that in mind, because there'll be more electricity utilization, and just be aware with our threshold settings and all of that there's going to be something different going on. And I was like, wait, hang on. So on August 31st, if Bryan Adams is playing, do you guys think we have a chance to run it on 100% solar energy? And we all looked at each other and we were like, you know what? Maybe we can do it.
So when you heard about Bryan Adams and Summerside, forgive the pun, but I guess a light bulb went on.
I grew up when Bryan Adams was a world-dominating rock star. So
I can do you one better. I grew up when Bryan Adams played at my high school dances.
Oh wow, that is very cool. So Bryan Adams, I remember him playing at Live Aid in 1985 in Philadelphia, for example. So here we are sitting in 2022, and it's like we can be part of a Bryan Adams rock concert and make it 100% solar. So then we just went to work and we got our AI system to predict how much solar energy would come the next day. And that was going to be difficult because the day was actually a kind of partially sunny, partially cloudy day. And so what we did was we basically made sure that there was enough battery capacity available to store what our AI system would predict would be available from solar during the day. So basically the day started and the battery started filling up, and our prediction was the AI prediction was actually very close. And
were you nervous though? Were you nervous when you were watching the batteries charge? Were you nervous?
Yeah, well, think about the battery as a bucket, right? And you're going to fill the bucket with water. In this case, you're filling it up with energy. So you want enough capacity in the bucket, but then you don't know exactly how much you're going to get until it happens, right? And as it turns out, our prediction was bang on. So
well, okay, wait a second. I want to ask you a little bit more about that. First of all, I want to know. So you've got the energy running into the concert. Now, Bryan Adams didn't know about this, right?
No. So at this point, there's no concert yet. So it's 8:00 in the morning on the 31st. and we're filling up the battery storage with solar energy, and it's gradually filling up. And everyone's crossing our fingers that the sun keeps shining and the clouds don't move in too quickly. And this is the problem with renewable energy, actually, is you don't know when you're going to get it. So you need a prediction system that's going to roughly tell you what you need. So let me simplify this for the listeners. So on the 30th, Bryan Adams' crew ran a rehearsal, and our system was able to monitor how much energy they were using in the rehearsal. Now, what we didn't know was, is the energy use in the rehearsal going to be similar as during the concert? But we had a sample of the energy use that he could potentially draw. What we didn't have is a good understanding of how much the air conditioning would be kicking in during the concert to cool the arena. And that's based on how many people are there and the air conditioning setting and all of that. So there were a few variables here, like how hot does it get inside and how often does air conditioning kick in? And the other part is like, how much energy does Bryan blow through?
Right. So, but
And
let's bring it up to showtime. So, concert starts. Did you actually get to enjoy the show at all?
yes, I got to enjoy the first rock concert in my life where I didn't hear a single note of music.
No.
So I was actually in our mission control in Ottawa. So when I say mission control, our team can view the dashboards of all our grid operations around the world, whether it's Tata Power in Mumbai, India, whether it's in Summerside, whether it's in the US. I was literally in my basement myself, just watching the dashboards because I was nervous. And we had a few colleagues, both in Summerside and here in Ottawa, also watching, just in case there was something we could do to inform people at Summerside on, can you lower the air conditioning or whatever. But turns out we didn't have to. But before the concert, let me just share that we estimated that the concert would need about 2,000 100-watt light bulbs operating continuously
The equivalent of that,
for
you mean?
the equivalent
Right.
of that for 3 hours. That was our estimation. What ended up happening is the solar energy during the day basically gave us a bit over 2,000 light bulbs of energy for 3 hours. And what the battery can do is it can dispense the equivalent of 3,000 light bulbs on a continuous basis. So imagine you're just flicking light switches and the AI is like flicking light switches and discharging energy to the concert.
It must have been super stressful for you, though, even with that, because you wanted this to
Well,
work.
the only stress was, would we get to 100 or 95% or 75? But if we didn't get to 100, the grid is connected, and we just get energy from the grid. So
Yeah.
it's not like Bryan Adams and that's the only reason why Summerside would give us clearance, because this thing had been working for a year, right? So it's not like every day it never goes down. It's robust. So whether we're using solar, battery energy, or grid energy, it all just seemed like no one knows the difference, right?
Right.
So it was exciting, I would say.
I want to just go back to that moment when you're sitting in your basement looking at the dials, and there is a real thing happening with a rock concert, and I know you didn't see it. Did you hear from anybody else how the concert went?
Yes, I did. So the director of economic development of the city of Summerside, Mike Tasuka, was at the concert, and I was texting him back and forth. I was trying to understand, to share it with my team, what's going on in there in terms of like are we going to make it, or do we have a chance? Because we're seeing the battery draining, we're seeing the concert load, we're seeing everything adjusting, but until it's over. So then I was asking them, is he close to being done, do you think? Is there going to be an encore?
How many encores? Yeah.
Yeah, like, look, in a way, we're kind of hoping that he doesn't, because we were close. I think we got it done with barely 5% to spare.
Whoa.
So I think if he sang another couple of songs, we wouldn't have made it. So that wasn't our choice.
But I guess everyone had a good time, thanks to you.
Well, I think everyone had a good
Oh, and thanks to
time.
to Bryan Adams guy
and the
too. Yeah.
city of Summerside to hosting it. We're just like computer geeks in the background, just making sure everything is going smoothly.
What kind of event would you like to work on next?
Well, the real event we want to work on is climate impact. It's a continuous event, it's a continuous challenge. Our goal is to build the world's premier renewable energy and transport electrification AI company. So for EV fleets and so forth, and based in Canada to service the world markets with the brain power of Canadian engineers to help solve this climate challenge. That's really what we're after. I mean, if they offered for us to work with partners to help do the same thing, like at the Super Bowl halftime show. However, I think every day is the real event, right? You get some of these things that drop in your lap, and it allows you to showcase what's possible, and step by step, we can change the world.
Devashish Paul, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thank you so much.